Hello everyone, I am Satells and today it's time for a new Blender lesson. Today, I will teach you how to model and texture a 3D balloon by using shape keys and drivers. So let's go. Select everything with A and delete it with X. Go to Add, Mesh, UV Sphere. Scroll the mouse wheel up to zoom into the sphere. Click right mouse button and choose Shade Smooth. Switch to Edit mode with Tab. Select this bottom vertex. Turn on the proportional editing with O. Press G plus Z and move it for around minus 0.7. Scroll the mouse wheel up to increase area of influence. I scrolled it approximately to 1.46. When you are satisfied with the look, confirm it with the left mouse button. And while that bottom vertex is still selected, press X and choose Delete Vertices. Select this whole loop with Alt plus left mouse button and fill it with F. Turn off the proportional editing with O or by clicking here. Press I to insert a new face and insert it for around 0.088. Move it with G plus Z for around minus 0.05. Extrude it with E plus Z for around 0.27. Switch to selecting edges with 2 and select this loop. Scale it with S for around 0.78. Move it with G plus Z for around minus 0.03. And scale it a bit more with S if necessary. Switch to selecting faces with 3 and select this face. Press X and choose Delete Faces. Switch to selecting edges with 2 and select this edge. Duplicate it with Shift plus D and press Escape to return it to its original position. Extrude it with E plus Z for around minus 0.03. Switch to selecting faces with 3 and select this whole loop with Alt. Press Alt plus E and choose Extrude Faces along normals. And extrude it for around minus 0.028. Switch to selecting edges with 2 and select these edges. And this. And this. And press Ctrl plus B to bevel them all. Scroll the mouse wheel up to add more segments. I added 3 more segments. Switch to Object Mode with Tab. Click right mouse button and choose Shade Smooth. Rename your object from sphere to balloon. Now click here on Data and you will see something new called Shape Keys. Shape keys are used to deform object geometry into new shapes for animation. The most popular case is using shape keys for character facial animation, but you can use it for other things, like in this case for making empty balloon inflated and vice versa. First, click on that plus sign to add a new shape key. The first shape key is called Basis. You can rename it however you want, and I renamed it to Balloon Full. Click once more on the plus sign to add another shape key. You can rename it however you want. I renamed it to Balloon Empty. From now on, whatever you are doing, make sure that the second shape key is selected because the first shape key is the base one and you shouldn't change it. Switch back to Edit mode with Tab. Change view to right orthographic view with numpad 3 or click red X on the screen. Turn on the X-ray mode by clicking here or pressing Alt plus Z. Switch to selecting vertices with 1 and select this part. And scale it with S for around 2.13. Select this part. Click right mouse button and choose Smooth Vertices. You can see that the new toolbar appeared in the left bottom corner, Smooth Vertices. When you click on it, new options appear. We will change smoothing from 0.5 to 1 and change repeat to around 55. Scale it with S plus Z for around 0.6. And move it with G plus Z for around minus 0.55. Turn on the proportional editing with O or by clicking here. Turn off the X-ray mode with Alt plus Z. Scale it with S plus X for around 0.69. And scroll the mouse wheel down so your area of influence, proportional size, is somewhere around 0.39. After that, scale it more with S plus X so your balloon will look more deflated. To improve the look of your deflated balloon more, you can select a random vertex and move it around with a G. For example, I selected this vertex and moved it a bit with proportional editing turned on. I did the same with this vertex, and this, and this. and this. And this. If you switch to object mode with tab, your balloon will be full again. That is because value of the second shape key is set to 0. As you are moving the value towards 1, the balloon becomes more and more deflated. And if you are moving the value towards 0, the balloon becomes more full again. We will leave it at 0 so it stays full for now. It is time for texturing it. Click on Material Properties, click on New to add a new material. Rename the material to Balloon Red or anything else you want. Switch to Material Preview mode by clicking here. Place the cursor on the upper side of the screen as shown, and when you see plus, just pull it down to the left while holding the left mouse click. Switch from the 3D viewport to Shader Editor. Change the base color to any color you want. I choose red. Change alpha to 0.5. Change roughness to 0.3. Position the mouse to the base color that you choose and copy it with Ctrl+C. Duplicate the whole principled BSDF with Shift+D and move it down a bit. Go to Add, Shader, Mix Shader. And put it between the first principled BSDF and material output. Connect BSDF from second principled BSDF with shader from Mix Shader. Change roughness in the second principled BSDF to around 0.7 and alpha to 1. If you change factor in Mix Shader to 0, your balloon will look like this. And the more you increase it towards 1, it will look like this. Go to Data and make sure that the second shape key called Balloon Empty is selected. Go to this value. And now it is time to use something called drivers. And what are drivers? Drivers are a way to control values of properties by means of a function or mathematical expression. Let me show you in a real example. Press right mouse button and choose Copy as a new driver. Now select Mix Shader, click right mouse button on Factor and choose Paste Driver. Your Mix Shader factor now looks like this. Now when you move the value of a second shape key, your balloon gets inflated, roughness also changes, and vice versa. Now you can easily animate it by just changing the value. That is all for today. Now you know how to use drivers and shape keys. If you had fun learning with me, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I recently started a Patreon with more exclusive content like 3D models, blend files, behind-the-scenes videos, etc. You can also download the free Blender guide based on this lesson, so feel free to check it out if you like text tutorials more. It is updated regularly. There is something for both free and paid members, so don't forget to check the link in the description. And if you have any questions, write them down in the comments. Happy blending, everyone! Bye! See you next time!